The big question is, on the event tier list, where does this put Everfree Northwest 2025 on our list of events this year? After thinking it over for the past few days, I have decided to put it in the B tier list of all the events we have been at for this year or any of the other years. Under a few reasons. The first reason is about 30 to 50% of the guests of honor that they confirmed this year, they were all mostly people we had met with in San Francisco prior. Now, that's not saying that myself, Ellie Ray Hennessy, and Tabitha St. Germain, as well as a few others, we didn't have a good time this year, which we did. It's always a blessing when those guys always see me either through Twitter or in person, and we always have the greatest times together. And myself and Tabitha, we always shared this interesting bond through Facebook, or not through Facebook, but through Twitter or through these in-person events, and we've developed quite an interesting friendship together. The reason I put it as a B tier list is because 30 to 50% of the guests of honor are going to be there that were previously in San Francisco, but there was also another situation that came across recently, a few weeks prior to this event. A few weeks prior to this event, which put it in the B tier list, and I'm not going to be saying who this person is, there was another person that got sent under investigation for unprofessional conduct. I'm not going to say who he is, but let's just say that this individual made me feel uncomfortable as a vendor back in April. And when I tried to talk to this guy about apologizing and letting him know that his actions made me feel uncomfortable, this individual decided to escalate stuff and never bothered apologizing or taking accountability. He even went as far as saying, and I quote, "Everfree Northwest was better before you showed up." So he's trying to put the finger on me, saying that I ruined his event for him. Right now, I'm not going to say who he is or what jurisdiction he's under, but he is currently under investigation through HR for unprofessional conduct, which is another thing that happened ironically a couple years ago with a guy that I believe fell off the face of the earth, who I said, and I quote, told me to shut the up. So, unfortunately, it wasn't good enough to break the performance what happened 2 years ago, because 2 years ago, we had a much higher rating on the scale, but we did have a somewhat decent year. It just wasn't enough to break what happened 2 years ago. It wasn't enough to break Pajama Edition this year or Willy Wonka Edition in California last year. Now, keep in mind that, I don't care what people have to agree or disagree on my statements, but I've been thinking about this for the past few days, and it was either an A tier event, B tier event, or C tier, and I put it as B tier because we at least had a somewhat decent year. Now, if it was like what happened with Space Edition, it would have been farther down the grid. But the fact that, some of these people that we met in San Francisco, we still shared some memorable times together, alongside with the fact that the person that is currently heading this investigation of this individual apologized for his actions and, tried to take accountability and make it, reasonable. I didn't drop it any lower than a B this year.